Okay, this time I want to talk about, and I want to talk about why women reject the way they do, or reasons why men are being rejected. And I think um, this one's not really backed up by any studies or anything. This is all just either like hearing stories, me seeing stories, experiencing them. Uh, I have really nothing to look at, uh, but we can agree that some of these things are true. For example, uh, it is just not as safe for a woman to be out as for a man to be out. Okay, women have to face more dangers on a day to day. Women have to be more careful. Uh, it's common sense. I think we can agree to that. And my point of bringing this up is when when we when I made the video talking about, and there's two videos now, but talking about incels, there's a couple things I saw where the response, uh, regardless from that section or from another section or just the online community, is it's a sense of entitlement that's the issue. What's funny to me is it's the sense of entitlement uh is something that was thrown both ways. Women are just too entitled. Men are too entitled. Uh, and when it both can be true, right? I do think some women more are more are they more entitled today? I do think there might be, I don't know if this is a actual thinking from the general population of women, but there is a loud percentage of women online who want men making this amount of money and looking a certain way and thinking they're going to get what they want when it's not realistic, uh, especially when they don't bring anything to the table. But I don't think that's a majority of them. I don't think a majority of them think that way. I don't think a majority of them are entitled. Now, when it comes to incels, a lot of you have different, you guys don't have a universal reason for being incels, but your mentalities, I could see where your entitlement, it kind of does look like entitlement from you guys, honestly. And here's why I'm saying this. And like, remember what we're talking about, right? So like, relationship is one thing, uh, and sex is another. Uh, here at surface level, obviously some people want to be in relationships, but sex is also just something. No, if you're having sex, you're probably not an incel. Uh, if you're active, you're not going to be considered an incel. Uh, so when when I'm really looking at what we're talking about, and it's like, well, they're not giving it to us. Well, it's like, okay, well, it's weird because I understand you're saying I'm doing all the right things, but well, I'm not getting it, or there's no way I'm going to get this because I'm not good enough. And I think most of you are good enough. I just think you have confidence issues, um, and something else that might be attributed. But uh, overall, it does seem entitled when we're here talking about sex. Like it doesn't matter how what you think you're doing or whatever, what you think their criteria is. They have a right to that criteria. Uh, now the argument is if let's say you guys are saying, I won't say you guys think 100% because nobody ever can never think that. You can never think 100%. It's just not that's not going to be a real thing. But let's say you guys think 80% are like that. Okay. Well, then that is a problem that we probably have to deal with. But I don't. That number's not 80%. Um, and again, I want to talk about. So let's go ahead and let's give other reasons because I think it's very harmful to think that you're ever solely the reason for being rejected. Now, like it can be. You could be just, she didn't think you're cute. She thought she thinks you're broke. Whatever her reason may be, she's allowed to have the reason, just like men are allowed to have their reasons. But um, in general, I don't think you should be taking it as if like the end all be all because again, I think a big problem is miscommunication or misunderstanding. Some guys have a perspective on conversations or flirting or playfulness that if you look up and try to see, men and women have completely different ideas of what's flirting, how things are taken, what's a signal and what isn't a signal. There's a disconnect. We're not matching up on that. So sometimes when you think you're being rejected, you're not being rejected, and other times uh, I don't know if it's hard to get, but it's uh, like they can't be seen as, okay, like, okay, we can't you can't be like, oh, women are hypersexual, da 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 da, this is why, this is why, this is why, and then sit there and tell the woman that like she's a slut for sleeping around or doing this, this, and the other. Like you're you're saying she's so hypersexual. If you just want sex, if you just wanted sex or a sexual relationship, but then when she expresses that, like you can't make her feel weird about it. And the reason, and I know you guys are demonizing or, I don't want to use that word. Fuck that. You guys are trying to make it like women being hypersexual is a bad thing. Um, so yeah, maybe you do want to do that and say, oh, why are you sleeping around? That's slut-like behavior. It doesn't make sense to me because if, give me a second to really think about what I'm trying to say here. Hmm. I lost what I was trying to say. You want sex. You're calling out women for being hypersexual. Okay, here's where it comes in. This is where the misunderstanding I think comes from. So you're saying you want to hit on a woman, right? But a lot of people say they don't like it when they play hard to get or when they're being like mixed signals. Okay, I see my whole point now. So if a woman was to be blunt, I think there's a lot of men who'd be thrown off by that, wouldn't like it, think it's too easy. Then they'd start judging her, all these type of things. And the reason why that's an issue is because now you're sitting here and blaming her for beating around the bush or playing hard to get or making you wait, uh, making you work hard, putting effort in. And one, I mean, if you want that and you got to put effort in, it is what it is. But also, your slut shaming or your reaction or your judgment is the reason she's doing it, right? That's majority of the reasons why women do that is because of the precedent. And incels and men alike, red pill community, whatever, have all the societal pressure. I need to be a man. A man needs to make money. A man needs to be able to protect his family. A man needs to do this, this, and that. We complain about those same social pressures, but ignore it when we're talking about the other side. Again, while I'm saying this, I'm not really on like I said, I think it's a mixed bag. I think there's issues on both sides and I think the internet has made it worse and I think COVID has brought a distance between people and now we're trying to re-socialize. I think there's a whole bunch of issues regarding this. Uh, so I'm not just taking the side of women here. I do think there's some things that they cause to the misunderstanding. Like I don't think there should be. I don't understand. Their misunderstanding to me is crazy in certain playful situations. But again, I'm a man, so obviously, from my perspective, the male perspective, I don't get it because I'm like, yeah, we see it this way. How can you see it? But the same way, I'm not seeing theirs. Um, I hate trying to see like feel like I'm trying to play both sides. Uh, I'll take I'll take a harder stance. It is. I think I do think the majority of uh, the talking points and the mentality and stuff. I don't think something's wrong with incels. I think you guys have a mentality or a confidence issue that pushes you to do the same thing over and over again, which causes failure or even just avoid it. Um, I do think it is harder in this uh, at this time to do this stuff. It is harder to face social rejection. You can be humiliated and embarrassed in front of thousands of people rather than the local community. There is more options. There's all these things. But again, I just want to point out that like majority of the time, people people behave a way because they feel safer. You're doing things because it's the safe way. She's doing things because it's the safe way. She doesn't want your number or she doesn't want to give you her number. That's fine. Try, and I'm gonna try to give solutions because I think a lot of time we talk about them, or the reason why the red pill can take so many incels is because they believe the same things they do, but then they give them a solution. Um, when you're being told, like, I think the thing that's interesting for me growing up, asking for numbers was a very normal thing, but now people aren't comfortable with doing that. That's interesting to me. That's new to me. Um, Now it's kind of like I don't want to give you my number. And I don't think that's rejection these days anymore. Someone not want to give you their number, you could give them your number, or a lot of girls now, it's, hey, what's your Instagram? What's your Snapchat? They feel safer on that because now you don't have something that they have to keep. And it's easier to block you on those other apps. You can block on the phone too, but it's easier to do on the apps. Uh, so like things like that. Their reasoning for not wanting to take. No, okay, again, that story that was referenced in the other video with the guy being pushy at the bar. If you're trying to get with someone, or maybe if you're not even if you're, let's say you're being genuine, you say, hey, I just want to buy this person a drink, and they decline the drink. Why are you making it an issue? Oh, I was just trying to be nice. Okay. And I just said, thank you, I don't want it. Maybe I'm the driver, maybe this or that. Maybe I don't want to drink from you. Maybe I don't want to have to sit there and talk to you. Uh, these are things, and again, it's not always so one-sided, but like, I think it's important to realize these reasons. Like if I have a younger sister. I have uh, a lot of women that I'm close to that I worry about because I know they're not safe in certain times of the day, certain areas, uh, and that's something I have to worry about. And if I could be with them 24/7, I would, but it's not realistic. So they have to adapt and do things that are put them less likely. And all of the time, saying that makes it seem like you're victim blaming, like, oh, you got forced into doing this because you were out at this time. No, but it's a reality that they have to live with, that these things they have to be careful of. They have to watch out. They have to be careful who they're with. They have to let people know where they are. They have to have these are these this all accounts in their decision making. So when you get rejected, remember that's something you probably don't have to think about. Uh, and so while they're also thinking about their safety, like they're not just thinking about you. And uh, again, the issue doesn't even have to, and the reason I'm trying to emphasize this is because again, if you're thinking you're the issue and you're the sole issue, then that can lead to you uh, changing your behavior and doing stuff that is likely to get you rejected. Uh, and I get it. There's things that you go through, whether it's a relationship, life, uh, work, death, stress, all these things, school, all these things are like real things that everybody has to deal with, and it can push you to close yourself off or make decisions a certain way. And I think when it comes to dating, women definitely have more things they have to think about and worry about. So I think I just want you guys to take that in mind when you're being rejected. And like, it's just not good to be obsessed with any one person. So if you're getting rejected and your whole life is destroyed, you might have to rethink like how focused your life was on that. Put your effort, put your energy somewhere else. Anything you ever thought you wanted to do, as long as it's healthy and not dangerous to any other person. Uh, I think you should go and see how far you want to go with that. And then enjoy your time like that, and then find people in that area or who enjoy the same things you do. Um, I just think there's just so many different things you could do, um, and so many more things that we can think about, and it'd help. It also just again start being more blunt. Easy for me to say, hard to practice, but I think over time it is something like if you're acknowledging these some of these issues, being more blunt, and I think this is for both sides. Girls, if you're afraid to look a certain way, um, I think the type of dudes that are looking at you that way and dismiss you because of it, I don't think you want to be around those people anyways. Now, again, easier for me to say than do because those people can be family, those people can be um, coworkers, your boss. Like sometimes there's things you have to think about. Is it worth it? So I understand, but I think for the most part, uh, being true to yourself and just doing what you think is right, uh, you'll end up being surrounded by people that care about you instead of being surrounded by, people who think they care about you because you're hiding something and you know how they'll feel about it. And you can't ever be yourself around. I can't be friends with those type of people. I mean, when I say those type of people, it doesn't even mean necessarily they're bad. We have disagreements, but if we can't agree and that disagreement is a friendship breaker, I don't want to be friends with you because then I can't do the thing that I want to do. It is what it is. Um, that's all I really have to say on it. Uh, Please go ahead if you have any. Tell me in the comments below what you disagree with. I have no problem. I saw a couple dislikes. I have no problem with you guys disliking my content, but tell me why. Why do you not like what I said? What did I say that was wrong? What pissed you off? As long as as long as you come at me correct, I don't really give a shit. I'm not gonna uh, mark you down or cut you off or block it. As long as you're coming reasonable and back up the stuff that you say or give a reasonable opinion. And by reasonable, I just mean that like you're backing up what you say. Like not just making baseless claims. I can be wrong. So, yeah, thank you. If you've gone this far, I appreciate you for watching. If you want to see more content and you liked what you saw, we have a part-time kids channel. I'll put the description below. We also have our podcast, which is the videos are on this channel, but if you want audio only, you can go to Spotify and just search um, part-time rambles, or that will also be in the description below. We also stream. You can go to my stream down there. Um, twitch.tv/stuffums. Um, Other than that, that's all I have to say. If you disagreed with anything I said today in this video, please go ahead and leave some comments down below. I would like to see how far off my perspective is compared to yours, or if I'm right there with you. Also, I'm going to start putting songs of the day below, um, the songs that I like that make me feel better, and I think it'd be cool to share that with you guys. All right, bye.